Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to a Shohei Kondo video. I apologize if I've mispronounced your name. I don't know who this creator is, but this video popped up in my recommendations, and you know what? I am very interested in this topic. The topic is the Japanese Prime Minister is mad about Ubisoft. Now, what could they be mad about? Well, they're mad about Assassin's Creed Shadows, which at the time of recording of this video comes out in a couple hours, and tomorrow, the 20th of March. So, yeah, it's. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of controversy. I mean, okay, just to get it out of the way, I think one of the biggest controversies is that the main protagonist is a black man, Yasuke, who was never a samurai, but he is a samurai in this game, which I don't really care about that. I I think people are conflating that too much. There are other instances of Yasuke in other forms of media where he's like a warrior and whatnot. What the major issue is Ubisoft's lack of accountability and credibility when it comes to depicting Japan. And I think that's what the biggest issue is. And I think that's why the Japanese prime minister is mad. So, Shuhei Kondo. I apologize. I'm terrible with names from all over the world. Finally, the Japanese prime minister steps in today. Japanese politician Hiroyuki Kada talked about Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows and its disrespect toward Japanese culture and religion during a national diet deliberation. Our prime minister responded and showed his disappointment with the game. This was a long journey, but our voices are reaching the prime minister. Interesting, very interesting. So yeah, like I said, this popped up in my recommendations. I thought it was interesting. I wanted to react to it. So here we go. The link to the video will be in the description down below, so make sure to go and check it out. Yeah. But yeah, let's start it up.
This is really happening.
It's
Japanese
happening.
Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is not happy about Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay,
Let's watch this.
I'm watching.
この今言う
Oh, so that
い
is
わゆる
today.
朝栗問題ということについてお伺いしたいんですが、
Did you hear that? He said Asakuri issue, meaning
Asakuri.
we Japanese keep on talking about this all the time.
Sakuri Monday Assassin's Creed Shadow issue. So wait, it has a term already.
So Asakuri issue, he didn't explain about Asakuri issue, right? Because everyone knows.
It has a term in Japan already.
ですね
That's funny.
発売予定の
Funny and
フラン
sad.
スの UBI ソフトの株式会社制作のゲームソフトのアサシンクリードシャドウズにですね、ついてなんですけど、海外で先行プレイの動画が YouTube でアップされておりまして、それを
Early
拝見
gameplay
いたし
video.
ます。
I wonder if this is going to talk about. So there was some leaked video, or like it may even been officially released. I'm not sure. I mean, the game leaked completely like a month ago, but I'm wondering because there's a lot of things that were seemed disrespectful. Like you can go up to their shrines and completely like destroy the shrines and attack and kill the priests and whatnot. Which, when it comes to, from my understanding of Japan, the Japanese take that sort of thing very seriously. And you could also like loot and rob graves of the imperial family as well, which I want to say is still in line. Like the imperial family is still a thing in Japan, and like the lineage is still there, so it's like the direct descendants. And I don't think Ubisoft got like permission for any of that. And just we'll watch the video. We'll watch the video and find out. This is my speculation.
That video that went to
Oh yeah,
really
there it is.
viral. And I was surprised that there's a lot of people who think that's okay. I think most of the people.
I think the reason people think it's okay is because in the Western society, religion is so demonized, right? Especially in pop culture. Typically, religion in specific, like Christianity, is very demonized. So this was also a thing. I never played any of the other Assassin's Creeds. I stopped playing after Brotherhood, or after Black Flag. Maybe Black Flag was the last one I played. But I know in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you could like go and destroy churches and stuff, right? So it's a common thing, but again, when it comes to religion of other cultures, these cultures might take it more seriously and frown upon situations like this.
Doesn't know that's
Like, like I couldn't even imagine the outrage if there was Assassin's Creed set in in India, which I think there might even be a side one. I know there's like a side scroller that's set in China. There might be one in India. I don't know. Again, I don't play any of the Assassin's Creed games, but like a mainline Assassin's Creed game in India where you would go and destroy Hindu temples or Jain temples or anything like that, right? That there would be massive outrage. Imagine if you'd go in and you could just destroy mosques and stuff. That I can understand if people are angry about these sort of things.
a lot of people who think that's okay. I think most of people doesn't know that's the shrine and the altar. I guess, but a lot of Japanese people feel offended about that video.
板手氷図シュラインと実名で私の兵庫県の姫路市の
Oh,
入間の国奏者板手屋鉄
so the
板手
shrine is a
氷図神社が
real
登
like
場します。
modern
この
shrine.
ゲームの中でですね、主人公の侍は刀を振り回して拝殿内で太鼓や神経祭壇を粉砕しまして、そして境内にいる向こうの民や神職とおもしき人物などを切りつけ弓を射ったりするような乱暴狼藉ができるようになっています。
Yeah, that's the thing. They can just disable it, but they made it object that breakable.
私はこの話を聞いてですね、ちょっと地元の神社でもありますので、直接宮司さんにお話を伺いました。当該ゲーム会社からは神社に対しまして、名称の使用許可などの
Wow. Okay. So it not only do they have shrines that are still up in the modern day, they never got permission to use the names and the likenesses. Huh.
連絡は一切なかったということであります。他にも奈良の東大寺などの寺社や古墳などの
Oh, here's the burial mounds. Yeah, this is where
無許可で使用されて
you
おり
could
ます
go and loot
本
the
日はですね
tombs of the
大串正樹
imperial
経
family.
産副大臣にお越しいただいておりますが、国内外問わずゲームを楽しむユーザーというのは年々増加しておりますが、ゲーム等における固有施設の映像などをですね、無許可で使用することについてご見解をお伺いしたいと思います。
And it's not even just okay. So he said using places without permission. This is even like the only time they've done that. They've used like symbols of like modern day like reenactment groups without permission. They use those symbols back in for this game that takes place hundreds of years ago. And they use the like the broken Torii gate, which is crazy that they would do that, because the broken Torii gate is like a symbol of Japan being nuked, and one of the things that was standing was a Torii gate that was broken in half, and they used that as a statue, and they put like these chibi versions of like Naoe and Yasuke on it, and they were trying to sell that as like an extra bundle, and it's that highly insensitive. It's crazy. And there's other instances as well. I know someone went through the art book, and it's like the art book was just straight up, ripped copies of, other people's works just plastered in there. Ubisoft really is dropping the ball on this game, in my personal opinion, from everything that I've seen.
経済産業省大串副大臣。
This is just kind of insider note. I know some people that send me this video. So, they didn't use word of Yasuke. Can't talk about it that detail, but something really scared concerns me. It's that there's an unspoken rule. You cannot cause other trouble to other ministries. I heard they can't use word of Yasuke in here.
They can't use Yasuke.
If we
Yasuke is the black samurai in the game. Why can't they use the word Yasuke? So Yasuke was theoretically a real person. It was a an African slave that was brought over by the Dutch, I want to say, who was sold or given to Nobunaga, and he lived with Nobunaga for a couple months, a couple weeks to a couple months, and then when he was killed, the records of Yasuke were gone. Essentially, Yasuke was an oddity for showing off to other people. He was given a title of like a sword bearer, which just means he basically hauled Nobunaga's swords around.
are Japanese, I think this is one of the biggest concern. And they decided to not to mention about Yasuke. That's what they told me. But my concern is that which ministry get trouble if they use word of Yasuke in here? As a Japanese, that's one of the biggest concern. What's going on, really?
お答えいたします。一般的なゲーム制作におきまして、現存する固有名詞等を商用利用する際には、その知的財産を有する個人や団体等に許可を得る必要があるものと認識をしております。知的財産を無許諾で利用されているケースにおきましては、個別の事情によるものであるため、当事者間で協議されるものと承知をしております。その上で、神社側等から相談がございましたら、関係省庁と連携しつつ適切に対応してまいりたいというふうに思います。
加田博之君。
ありがとうございます。今の答弁ありましたようにですね、やっぱり無許可で使用するということは本当にいけないことだと思いますし、本当にこのことについては私もしっかりと注視していきたいと思っております。それでですね、それに伴いまして昨今、コロナ禍の影響も薄れまして、観光客が急回復しまして、
Tourism?
オーバーツーリズムによる様々な
Over
問題が生じて
tourism, all sorts of problems. Okay, I wonder is he going to talk about all the shitty Twitch and Kick streamers that go and cause mischief and mayhem in Japan?
おります。中に神社の鳥によじ登ったりですね、神社の石柱へ落書きするなど観光客の迷惑行為は観光公害とも言える事態であります。
That's also something I've been talking about on my channel.
They're gonna
a lot of
Japan is a mess. Japanese speak out on annoying tourists. Japan's gonna lock the country down. They're not gonna let tourism in.
foreigners who do that. I gotta be honest, just because they think Japanese won't fight back, Japanese won't say anything, or they're taking advantage of Japanese politeness or kindness or even shyness. And it's very natural that as a Japanese, if we see that game, we feel like, oh, they can do that because they think Japanese won't say no.
私は当該のゲーム機の中で、NPC、ノンプレイヤーキャラクターっていうものに対してとかですね、承諾された承諾なく使用された施設の映像の中で攻撃や破壊する行為が現実世界で報される迷惑。
I don't know. This is unfortunately I don't agree with this argument here, where he's saying the violence in the game could spill over to real world. This has been something that has been talked about in the US for a very, very, very long time. And it's the main reason why we have like ESRB ratings on video games as well. It's just there's no correlation between video game violence and real world violence. So I just don't agree with this argument here.
行為につながるんではないかと懸念しております。先ほどの神社の宮司さんや関係者の皆様もそれを心配されておりました。もちろんですけど、これ申し上げたいのは表現の自由というものはもちろん尊重されなければいけません。だが一方でですね、長い間地域の方々に培われた文化に対しまして敬意を持って接する、その土地の文化を軽んじる行為は私は慎むということは大事なことだと考えております。例えばですけど長年経緯やですね信仰されてきたフランスのノートルダム大聖堂とかですね、イスラム教のコーランなどにですね礼を失するようなですね、映像を使われていたらどんな気持ちにその現地の人たちはなるか。
Well, there is a game set in France, an Assassin's Creed game set in France, and I think you could go to the Notre Dame Cathedral. So here it is. I just opened up this video here. Can he? He's just exploring it. Can you go up and I don't know, like bash in? Oh, there's guards and stuff here. I don't know. I've never played this one. You can shoot guards inside of it. You can loot. Can you destroy this? Is this destroyable? Whatever this is, I don't know. You can get on top of it. Can you knock over the cross here? He did it in the game. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So, but on the note here where he said,
映像を使われていたら、どんな気持ちにその栄養士のノートルダム大聖堂とかですね。
burning or the Quran in Islam. Wasn't there a recent story of the activist that burnt the Quran in like Sweden, or was it the Netherlands? It was some northern European country. He got assassinated. He got murdered by Islamic extremists.
コーランなどにですね、礼を失するようなですね、映像を使われていたら、どんな気持ちにその現地の人たちはなるか、これはもう言わずがもがなでございます。
Right.
本当にこれは私思うんですけども、総理就任後初のお国入りにですね、まず地元の八頭町の渡神社を参拝しました石破総理にお伺いしたいんですけども、ゲーム、SNS 等によりまして多文化を軽んじる行為やそれに伴う観光勾配についてご所見をお伺いしたいと思います。
石破内閣総理大臣。
これを法的にどうするかということにつきましては、経産省あるいは文科省あるいは外務省とよく協議をしてまいりたいと思っておりますが、神社に落書きするなんぞというのはもってのほかの話であって。
Well, of course.
Oh,
that
this
is.
just happened.
Yeah. Graffiti found on prestigious shrines. Wow.
That happened
Terrible.
before.
それはもうその国に対する侮辱に他ならないと私は思っておるところでございます。で自衛隊をイラク・サマーワに出しますときに、もちろんイスラム教を信じるとかそういう話ではありませんが、イスラム教のしきたりとかそういうものは現地に派遣される自衛官たちにきちんと習得していくようにということをお願いをいたしました。例えば料理を全部食べちゃわないといけないって、日本ではみんな食べないと申し訳ないみたいなことがありますが、じゃあかの国では全部食べちゃうと足りなかったという意思表示になってなんと失礼だということになるとかですね。それ表層的なものかもしれませんが、少なくとも。
I think this is incredibly important. It's always good to be respectful, especially when you're in another country. You want to be respectful of their culture, of their practices, of their religion. Even if you're not religious, you want to try to be as respectful as possible. And that's just basic, common courtesy, right?
宗教とかそういうものに対する尊敬の念を持つということは私は当然のことだと思っておりますし、そうでなければ外交というのもできないと思っております。
Here you go. He said that without that respect, diplomacy doesn't work. Ubisoft. Listen, this is our prime minister. Not just one unknown grifter is talking. Japanese prime minister is speaking.
のことだと思っておりますし、そうでなければ外交というのもできないと思っております。まず我が国としてそういうことを率先垂範していかねばなりませんし、仮にもそういう行為がオーバーツーリズムもそうですが、そういうことがあったら泣き寝入りはしないと、日本国民としてこういうことは許さないということも発信をしていくことは極めて重要なことだと考えておるところでございます。
原博之君。
I feel relieved, but please do something.
I don't think anything's going to be done, unfortunately. I think the game is going to sell very, very well. Assassin's Creed is like slop for the average gamer, right? It's like Call of Duty. That's what Assassin's Creed is. It's basically a Call of Duty action slasher game, RPG almost in some of the newer games. It's gonna sell well. I don't think this one is gonna sell up to their standards, but I do think it's still gonna sell well. And I don't think it's gonna like I don't even think like historically the Assassin's Creed games were sold amazingly well in Japan either way. So I don't think this audience is going like any audience pushback from Japan is going to minimize the sales. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. The game comes out tomorrow. We'll find out.
総理のおっしゃる通りでUK 向けの文化とか風習というものに対してですね、やっぱりこれはお互いがお互い敬意を持ってやらなければ私もいけないと思っております。先ほどの当該ゲームソフトにおいては、日本の部分の文化というものとか施設というものとか、無許可でしかもそういう
That is something that's a little interesting. How if these temples and these shrines are still up today and they're used without permission, and he's talked to these people and he's asked them, and they would have no idea. They never had any contact from Ubisoft. And if they're using like real, well, see that's a tricky thing because if they've been around for hundreds of years, but then I don't know what the fair use laws are like in Japan, or like when things go up, like how in the U.S. it's like if the person's not, if the work of art's been around for 100 years or something like that, then it's free use, right? Like Batman and Superman are coming up to be for anybody could use them here shortly. Like Mickey Mouse, could be used, the last year or the year before. I just don't know how that is with over in Japan.
という形で破壊できるようになっている。じゃあ、他国の部分はどうなのかというと、それはできないようになっている。なぜ日本だけなっているのかとかですね。これもやっぱり私問題だと思うんですね。この点についても全てが全てっていうんではなく、なぜ日本だけということについても、私は疑問を持っている一人でございます。そのことについてもまた引き続きですね、なかなか表現の自由と絡めたお話であるかもしれませんが、誤った意味での表現の自由というのは私は許されないと思いますので、ぜひともその点につきましてはまた経産省ともども外務省についてもご協力をお願いしたいと思っております。
ありがとうございます。Yeah, do you remember when I said like a butterfly effect, like when my video was deleted? And because of that video, a lot of people reacted. Because of a lot of people reacted and like the making the wave, right? I was inspired some couple of videos and I started making a video because I see a lot of comments a lot of Japanese comments that was called racist or liar, you are not Japanese or kind of stuff. And I made that video.
Listen, Ubisoft, we are mad. Japanese speak up. Racism in the shadows. I think this is in regards. I don't think I've seen this video, but I know there was a lot of there's a pretty big controversy of Assassin's Creed Shadows sometime last year, 8 months ago, on Twitter, on X, and I wonder if this might actually be about that.
The first video of Assassin's Creed, and after I made Assassin's Creed Shadow video in English, a lot of people in the West talking about it. Or Japanese is actually mad, and then everyone's small voices became really big and finally reached to Prime Minister.
Yeah.
But it's not finished yet. Let's see what they can do. And then I'll do what I can do. You do what you can do. You have a happy day today. Bye.
Again, the game comes out tomorrow. I don't think there's much of anything that anyone can do about that. It's interesting that it's being talked about, so high up in Japan's government even, but I just don't know if there would be anything like what would they do? What would they do? Sue Ubisoft, put sanctions on Ubisoft, a foreign company, a French company? I mean, I guess that's a possibility, right? They could sanction Ubisoft. They can say, all right, you know what? If you want to, you can't sell your games here anymore. What do they have? They have what Trackmania is really popular. Rainbow Six Siege is really popular. Um, what else is like super big right now? Couldn't tell you. I mean, they have like the Anno games, all their. Uh, I'm trying to think of anything else like the Division, but that there's nothing that's been done with the Division in how long? Um, Ghost Recon, which they do nothing with. Yeah, Far Cry, uh, Avatar. I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what some of the comments have to say. You know, I'm interested in this. Another bit of news from Japan. I've heard going viral is the Super Smash Bros. Developer Masahiro Sakurai calling for Japanese game developers to not Americanize their games. I 100% agree with this. Yeah, I read this as well. I think that should be true to it. Like if you live in a culture, you should try to you shouldn't have to if you're making games, you shouldn't try to make games for the standards of other people. You should make games to the standards for your people, right? Like because you don't have many Western developers trying to Japanize their games. You don't have any. Well, I guess you do have Chinese developers trying to ride on Japanese style game coattails, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now we can finally show that the opinion that all the people who are arguing against are white impersonators is harassment of us Japanese. Having physical relationship with Yasuke is absolutely disgusting and horrible scenario. I'm sorry, what? Ichi was a samurai fan. Oh, okay. So yeah, this one I've read. I know about this. So they've shoehorned in a lot of romance stuff into the Assassin's Creed games, and this one is no different. And in this one, Yasuke can have a gay relationship with like an actual known a Japanese figure, historical figure, which I guess his name was Ichi. He can have a gay relationship with him. He can have a relationship with some non-binary person. Naoe has a lot of gay relationships with a lot of people as well, which is I'm finding very interesting because it's in the whole Assassin's Creed stuff about like the animus and you're going into your ancestors, and if your ancestors are gay, then how could their bloodline pass down to you? I don't know, and Again, I don't really care about the Japan. I don't really care about the Assassin's Creed games anymore. Ichi was a samurai family, daughter of Daimo, Japanese feudal lord, so it was impossible for her to make love to her own terms. It was the biggest taboo of the time for a woman in such position to have a physical relationship with someone that she was not even married to. Oh wait, okay, so maybe this isn't that what I was reading about before. Ichi was a samurai family and a daughter of a daimo. Oh, right. Okay, so this is one of the other relationship lines. Was I guess is with this Ichi lady who's a daughter of a samurai family. It was biggest taboo at the time for a woman to in such a position to have a physical relationship with someone she was not even married to. A samurai would not let a princess of his lord's house violate a taboo, and if he did, he would not be a samurai but a Gaido. In other words, Ubisoft foolishly created and proved the paradox that Yasuke is not a samurai. Interesting. They made Yasuke have a relationship with Nobunaga's sister. Their cunning, uncaring attitude to Japanese history is disgusting. A disturbing story has come out about Oichi. I think she is a widow at the time, having an extramarital affair with Yasuke. So I hope that her descendants, the Oda and Tokugawa imperial families, will be scolded by this, and I want the government to back it up. Wow. So, okay. So wait, why are they allowing these people to have these relationships with actual true to life historical figures? That just seems weird. The crazy thing is that there's still a lot of fans of Ubisoft that insist the Japanese complaints about the Assassin's Creed Shadows are really just non-Japanese people posting on social media using Google Translate. Japan has an unspoken code of conduct in public and indoors. They're correct in worrying the foreigners disrespect them, like that Johnny guy, Johnny Somali, the worst person in the world. Great to see Japan standing up for what is right instead of ignoring the historical revisionism like most Western countries. After the early showing of the game, I immediately felt it was disrespectful to Japanese culture. After watching release footage, I've realized it's deeply disrespectful to Japanese culture, even beyond Yasuke, that it was literally a court jester that was fascinated Nobunaga from the color of his skin, magically becoming a samurai within 6 months wearing better armor than Nobunaga himself. It's the premise that the guy is literally a black man in feudal Japan slaughtering hundreds of Japanese people and having an affair with Nobunaga's sister. Imagine if Konami made a game of a Japanese man going to France to piss on the Notre Dame, kill hundreds of Frenchmen and women, and get busy with Joan of Arc while French people revere him. I mean, I guess, yeah. I love that the Japanese government are finally taking the issue seriously. As a Singaporean, I support them. Thank you for covering this. As a Japanese, it seriously infuriates me. I know many are hurting from Ubisoft's ignorance. The fact that they chose to release the game in the current state speaks volumes of how much they don't give a shit about respecting the culture and feedback. The corporate greed and racism is on full display. Another thing that I've noticed from what people have said online is that a lot of the buildings and a lot of the architecture and aesthetics is very Chinese. It feels very Chinese rather than Japanese as well. So I know a lot of people are angry about that too. Like there was like a banner of a dragon on the wall, and it wasn't like a Japanese dragon. It was a Chinese dragon, but instead of having like 5 claws, it had 3 claws. Which I think is even like in China, you're not like no one is allowed to depict the dragon with the 5 claws because like the emperor's family dragon depiction or whatever. I don't know these things. um, Japan should sue Ubisoft. I seriously hope these Japanese politicians actually do something about the game. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Absolutely crazy how disrespectful they are. I played every Assassin's Creed game to ever release, but after the situation, not only will I not play Shadows, but I'm done with the Ubisoft entirely. I haven't played an Ubisoft game in I don't know how long. I think Trackmania was the last one, and I think the last time I played Trackmania was like 2 years ago. And like I said before, I stopped playing Assassin's Creed games after Black Flag. Let me read some of the new comments. Go Japan. Ubisoft kind of fucked up. Yeah, who give a fuck? Written by a white woman for white women. Written by white women for white women. Huh. So they're mad about a video you made destroying the temple, which you choose to do, and they're afraid this might make copycats. So I'm guessing a bunch of people started climbing buildings in France after Assassin's Creed Unity. It's so Japan to worry about video games at their own economy failing. Good luck getting the yen to rise again. Please, Japan, sue Ubisoft. Western countries are degenerates and have always hated the rich culture of Eastern countries. I would agree that there's a lot of degeneracy in Western culture and Western countries, especially as of late. But I don't think they hate Eastern countries. Ubisoft downfall, let's go. The game is in big trouble. They deserve it. As a Muslim, I'm 200% convinced I fully understand just how sacred shrines are to Japanese. One more new characteristic learned today about Japanese culture. I knew it was going to be bad, but there are exceeding expectations. Great job. You can't just decide to not break it. Very cringy that this has become an issue, big issue in Japan, like Korean men getting mad about women in video games. Well, the thing about this is, I don't know about the Korean men getting mad about women in video games, but the thing about just deciding not to break it is that the the character you're playing is supposed to revere these shrines. Like there's even like a side quest to go to a bunch of different shrines and bow and pray at them. So you're playing a protagonist that would never ever do this sort of thing. So why even add it to the game at that point? All right. Well, I think you understand, right? Go ahead. The link to this video will be in the description down below. I might check out a couple of his other videos as well. Why not? Shohei Kondo. Shohei Kondo. What do we got here? Oh, it looks like maybe I saved this one. I have it linked. Like I've watched a little bit of it. Maybe this is something that I saved 12 days ago. Ubisoft says ni hao to Japan. WTF is this? What is that? I don't know. Japanese gamer explores Rise of Ronin. Rise of Ronin, yeah. There's a lot of alternatives. There's the Ghost of Tsushima that came out on PC, last year and came out on PlayStation a couple years ago. Rise of Ronin came out on PlayStation last year or the year before, and it just came out on PC. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, not too far off. Let me see what his most popular videos are here. Japanese ranks and TikToks about Japan. Japanese speak out on annoying tourists. Japanese plays Ghost of Tsushima. They are lying. Huge lies about Japan. Japanese react to YouTubers. Yasuke. Yasuke's unofficial song went viral in Japan. I talked with an Ubisoft insider about the Assassin's Creed Shadows backlash, how Asian hate is often dismissed. Japanese reacts in Assassin's Creed. Black Myth Wukong. He played Black Myth Wukong as well. Japanese break down the craziest video game, a Showa American story. What? Okay. It's going to be amazing. Let me explain why. Silent Hill F Japanese reaction. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one, yeah? Take care. Goodbye.